For the second consecutive year, Orthopedic and Sports Institute of the Fox Valley has been selected as winner of the prestigious Best of the Valley Award in Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. We'd like to thank our patients and our communities of the Fox Valley for your trust and support. Your stories inspire our ongoing commitment to patient-centered care and orthopedic excellence. Experience the difference of OSI today. Call 920-560-1000 to schedule and discover why we're the best in the Valley.
Dusty boots from a hard day's work, a sense of progress and pride. A hard hat adorned with a collection of successful projects and dreams brought to life. These are trademarks of a construction worker, their unique signature. At Myron Construction, the men and women who build our projects from the ground up balance artistry and skill with safe, quality construction. Their legacy reaches far beyond the physical structures they build, setting the stage for our clients to do what they do best. Together, we're building excellence.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Kimberly High School for a girls-boys doubleheader, and we are excited to bring it to you. Gary Bolesky along with my partner, Zach Morris, and tonight, the first game, and starting in about 5 minutes, will be Hortonville and Kimberly, two of the top 10 teams in the state, according to the last With Sports Prep poll. Zach, Kimberly coming at number 2, despite missing two or three starters most of the year, and Hortonville led by University of Maryland recruit Rainey Wilson. Should have a great girls game coming here tonight.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be a showdown that will benefit both teams, especially because these are the teams that you'll face in the playoffs. And that's why when you have two teams that are ranked inside of your own conference and other teams that can been ranked before, and the success that Nina had last year is you play against that talent, so it gets you prepared for the season. And that's what benefits so much because you think about it, a lot of teams can have great records in the postseason, but if you're not really tested during the regular season, you're not prepared for those playoff-type atmospheres. This game will have that type of atmosphere because the girls' game will be featured, and you have everyone getting ready for the boys' game as well, so this will be pretty packed.
And you talk about being tested. Both teams have done that. Hortonville opened their seasons against Pewaukee. Pewaukee, the number 1 team in the state, not only one of the top teams in the state of Wisconsin, one of the top teams in the country, and Hortonville got beat pretty easily, but then have come back and won 2 straight games in the FVA. Kimberly also tough schedule on non-conference games at Brookfield East. Then they just came off a nice road win last week, a game we had on the radio at Nina, and then the other night a nice road win at De Pere. So again, both coaches really getting those tough games early in the season. Again, I think, as you said, Zach, to get them ready for March.
Yeah, that's the big thing where these teams know about deep playoff runs. So when you make those runs, you're always prepared for that part of the year. We always say that for certain teams, it doesn't matter what sport, when they go deep into the postseason, that's where they excel and they know how to prepare because once you've been there multiple times, you know what to expect. Some teams, when they go deep in the playoff run, they don't know what to expect when you get down to the final 16, final 8, and that's why it's so important to have that type of atmosphere early on in the year against talent that you very well may see again.
Yeah, absolutely, and both teams, it's the one thing with both programs, very deep, very talented, and 2 excellent head coaches in the Kimberly head coach Dave Lepesto and also in Hortonville head coach A.C. Clothier. Both, you mentioned, tournament tested, and you're going to see some really high-quality play here tonight at Kimberly High School.
Oh, I'd be shocked if we don't see some great basketball tonight.
And most likely, probably, wouldn't be surprised. Hopefully, this is a close game that goes down to the wire. Again, if you're just joining us, University Maryland recruit Rainey Wilson, really the star player for Hortonville, but don't let that fool you. They're a very deep and talented team besides Rainey. Rainey averaging nearly 27 points a game. Kimberly, too, as I mentioned, perfect on the year, ranked 2 in the state. And they've done that pretty much without some key injuries. Bentley Trout, Kate McGinnis, and it looks like Claudia Ostman still out with different types of injuries. And I think when we did the game, it was a couple weeks ago, we did the Appleton East game here at Kimberly. Coach Lepesto cautiously optimistic that all 3 will return sometime this year, especially I think Trout and Ostman more sooner than McGinnis.
Yeah, it's all about when you can get back to the lineup that you're prepared for the regular season. And again, this is where bench players can be able to play a big role. Even when your starters are back from injury, it takes a while for them to get back into the flow of things. And that's why if you can develop some backups now, it pays dividends later.
And, of course, a big game, not only, getting ready, always looking ahead with these two teams, certainly for the playoffs, but also for FVA play. I'm sure one of their first goal is to win conference, and both teams will be coming into tonight's game with a perfect 2-0 conference record. Well, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and then when we return, we will have opening tip-off from Kimberly High School as we are just a few minutes away where the Kimberly Papermakers getting ready to take the Hortonville Polar Bears. We'll be back right after this timeout.
For the second consecutive year, Orthopedic and Sports Institute of the Fox Valley has been selected as winner of the prestigious Best of the Valley Award in Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. We'd like to thank our patients and our communities of the Fox Valley for your trust and support. Your stories inspire our ongoing commitment to patient-centered care and orthopedic excellence. Experience the difference of OSI today. Call 920-560-1000 to schedule and discover why we're the best in the Valley.
At Myron Construction, relationships are at the core of everything we do. While our roots run deep in the Midwest, our reach has expanded nationally as we follow our clients across the country to bring their projects to life. In an ever-evolving industry that leans heavily on resourcefulness and hard work, our project teams take great pride in not only delivering successful projects, but in building lasting relationships with our clients and partners. Together, we are building excellence.
And an excellent rendition by the Kimberly High School Choir as we are just about all set to bring you action tonight from Kimberly High School as the Papermakers getting ready to take on the Hortonville Polar Bears. Taking a look at the starting lineup first for the Hortonville Polar Bears. They were led by guard 5'10" senior Renee Wilson. Also at guard, 5' junior Maddie Springer. 5'8" sophomore Cardin Pepler. At forward, 5'9" Julian Martin. And also at forward, 5'10" senior Leah Hurley. For the Kimberly Papermakers, number 3, Emily Urban, junior guard. Also, Kennedy Eben, number 14, sophomore guard. At another third guard will be Ava Van Vonderen, senior. And at forward will be Haley Doulis. And also at forward for the Papermakers will be senior Reagan Krieger. And our sponsors for tonight's game, we want to pay special thanks to our main sponsors, Orthopedic Sports Institute of the Fox Valley and Myron Construction, and also Kelly Davies Home Team, Van Abels of Hollandtown, and Vandeboom and Verstegen Wealth Management. Thanks to all of our sponsors tonight. Without them, we certainly couldn't bring you tonight's game, and we appreciate all the sponsorships, and hopefully you can certainly do your job to support each of those sponsors that bring us tonight's game. As you can see, the starting lineups and a nice crowd here on a chilly Friday night for the girls-boys doubleheader. 2 for the price of 1, Zach. You can't. Such a nice thing sometimes we have here with high school basketball, that unique girls-boys doubleheader.
Yeah, and this is what a lot of fans appreciate, because normally you're split where one's on home, one's on the road, but this way you get to experience both teams in one night, and against a great opponent too. I mean, this is where you see a lot of teams do this with their crosstown rivals. I see this multiple times with Oshkosh West and North, and it gets the community involved as well.
Yeah, and we were just there Tuesday night in Oshkosh, and that was a great atmosphere, especially both student sections had a large turnout in a game, which, again, Oshkosh North defeated Oshkosh West, and North, one of the top teams in the state of Wisconsin, and we saw why. Got to see up close Xavier Mitchell, the Iowa State recruit who put on a show Tuesday night, and we're looking for the same thing here. Two of the top girls teams in Division I, Hortonville coming in at number 6, Kimberly at number 2 in the latest Wisc Sports Prep poll. In the opening tip, won by the Papermakers. Emily Urban bringing it up, man-to-man defense for the Polar Bears. Eben out at the right wing, looking underneath. Bounce pass back to Eben. Urban to Krieger. Krieger loses the dribble, swings it back around. Urban thought of the three, back to Krieger. Krieger, a little turnaround jumper, in and out, no good. One and done for the Papermakers. All the way to the basket. Wild shot by Maddie Springer, brought down, and we're going to get a foul on the floor by number 14, Julian Martin, as she commits the foul on Eva Van Vonderen, who got the rebound. A little bit out of control for Springer, trying to bring it up 1-on-2. So the foul will give the ball back to the Papermakers. Just about a minute played here. Still looking for our first points. Van Vonderen on the dribble. Stops it. Tight defense by Martin. We're going to get a foul as Emily Urban on the drive. Foul called on Maddie Springer, first of the night, second team foul for Hortonville. Krieger is going to take it to the basket again. Spin move, little turnaround jumper, shot no good. We're going to get a traveling violation, though, before the first turnover of the night.
Yeah, I didn't want to shoot the three-pointer and just took one too many steps there.
Kennedy Eben getting the assignment on Rainey Wilson, picking her up full court. Wilson with the crossover dribble. Looks down to Leah Hurley. Looking inside for Wilson, nothing there. Back to Pepler. Pepler loses the dribble, but fouled on the play by Emily Urban. I think what we'll see, Zach, with both teams, plenty of patience on offense.
Yeah, and that's what it is when you're going against great defenses as well. You have to be patient.
Wilson bringing it in bounds. Long three-pointer off the back of the rim, no good. Nice board by Van Vonderen. Here come the Papermakers. Long three-pointer, no good. Knocked out of bounds. Haley Doulis had a good look, just a little bit strong on the initial three-pointer for the Papermakers. Again, still looking for our first basket. Points
you're talking about patience, Gary. I mean, even that inbounds play for the Polar Bears, they took about 4 other 5 seconds just to be patient and wait for the open player.
And here comes Wilson. Again, guarded closely by Eben. Wilson with a turnover as she throws that one right into the Papermakers bench, looking for Maddie Springer. Head coach Dave Lepesto of Kimberly giving his team a nice round of applause. Again, strong defense on both sides. 2 minutes in, still no score. Eben stops the dribble, looking for help. Back out top to Krieger. Krieger again, spin move in the lane. Nothing there, knocked away. Back to Krieger right at the free throw line. Here, Doulis all the way strong to the hole. Her shot no good. Good luck for Haley Doulis, just unable to convert. Martin with the rebound. Here comes Wilson. Wilson in the lead. A little bit of contact, no foul as Rainey Wilson works through the contact. First 2 points of the night for the Hortonville Polar Bears.
Yeah, and that offensive set was pretty quick for the Polar Bears as well.
Here comes Duelist again. Nothing there. Gets her own rebound. Again, good look. Just not able to convert. Martin with another rebound. Polar Bears up 2-0. And with possession of the ball. Kimberly still looking for get that lid off the hoop here on a chilly Friday night. A lot of foul, and we're going to get a foul, I believe, on the floor. Brandon Krieger thought she was up, straight up. No free throws, though. Krieger's first, team's second. And Wilson bringing it in bounds for the Polar Bears right underneath us. We got a baseline view tonight. Popular game, media-wise. Nearly turned over, but goes right back to Springer, who had a wide-open three-pointer, but stolen by Julian Martin. Martin in the right spot, right place.
When you play against experienced teams, you have to be aware because some of these guards are a little bit quicker than you see throughout the season.
And a nice look for Urban. Again, though, one and done. Hortonville doing a really good job on the defensive glass. Here comes Wilson. Springer thought about the three, pulls it back up. Wilson, top of the key three. She's going to hit that for her first three, fifth point of the night. 7-0 run for the Hortonville Polar Bears as they jump out to lead. Dave Lepesco with a full timeout. And we will take a little bit of break and let you know about Kelly Davies' home team. Kelly Davies' home team, LPT Realty, your home where your kids start shooting hoops in the driveway and where a lifetime of memories are made. As a proud born and raised Kimberly resident, Kelly takes special pride in connecting local buyers and sellers to their future home. Give her team a call today. Start your own real estate journey. Kelly Davies is a certified Ramsey trusted agent with years of experience helping buyers, sellers, investors, and hundreds of transactions a year. Find Kelly Davies Homes team on Facebook at kellydavieshomes.com and give them a call today. Kelly Davies, proud supporter of Kimberly Athletics. 7-0 run to start the game here for Hortonville, and just I think some decent defense by Hortonville, but Kimberly just not able to get any offense going. Some good looks, Zach, but just can't put the ball in the basket right now.
Yeah, I mean, every shot is just not falling in, and sooner or later that will drop in for the Papermakers. The question is, can they keep this deficit at bay before it gets out of hand, before baskets start to fall on their end?
Here comes Urban looking inside to Krieger. Krieger with the left-handed spin move is not there, but she is fouled, I believe, by Julian Martin. Her second. AC Clothier might have a decision to make with keeping Martin on the floor. Early on, Kimberly doing a really, wow, and again, in and out on the free throw. Really doing a good job getting it inside to their big girls, but they just had been not able to convert on some short jumpers.
Yeah, I mean, even at the free throw line, we're seeing just nothing's falling.
There it is. First point of the night for the Papermakers.
And once you get your first point and you feel a little bit more relaxed, all right, we're finally on the scoreboard.
And Hortonville back with the ball. Strong drive by Rainey Wilson. She's got 7. Having a little problems with the scoreboard. We'll be patient here. Is it 9-1? Make it 9-3. There we go. Just over 13 minutes to go. 9-3 Hortonville. Pepler out wide. Blocked on the three-pointer. Here come the Papermakers. Urban. Wide open three-pointer is good by Kennedy Eben. And all of a sudden, 9-6 game. And You called it, Zach. You got it right. They cut that margin quickly.
It's the weirdest thing where you can just get 1 point and everything starts to fall in after that.
Pepler on the dribble. In the lane. Still nothing there. Left-handed shot. Long. Here come the Papermakers. Nice job defensively by Kimberly. Urban on the dribble. Nice pass to Kennedy Eben on the layup. Excellent transition offense by the Papermakers. Have cut this lead to 1. 9-8 for Hortonville with the lead. Springer at the left wing. Her left-handed dribble. Stops. Looking for a backdoor cut. Nothing there. Again, looking for Wilson. Nice bounce pass underneath. Julian Martin with the 2. Excellent offense this time by the Polar Bears. Good bounce pass as Martin's able to finish in the lane.
Yeah, and that's what the Polar Bears needed just to end the run.
Urban on the Krieger miss. Double team. Back to Eben. Back to Krieger. Krieger taking it all the way to the hole again. Fouled. As she is fouled going up for 2 by Leah Hurley. Krieger back at the line. 1 for 2 her previous trip. Nothing but net for Reagan. Kendall Brockdrup coming in for the Papermakers. (11-9), 11:30 to go here in the first half. Making 11-10. Hortonville's lead back, cut to 1. Kimberly's offense, after a slow start, 10 quick points here since their timeout by head coach Dave Lepesto sort of settled them down and got them going offensively. Hurley thought about the three-pointer. They can string it around. Pepler on the dribble. Back to Warner. Mallory Warner getting her first playing time of the evening. A little zone defense this time for, and then we're going to create a turnover for the Papermakers defense.
That was one of the easiest turnovers she'll get tonight because that pass was just directly to her.
Troop looking underneath for Krieger. Krieger again, strong dribble, little turnaround jumper, blocked, looked like by Mallory Warner. Here come the Polar Breakers up 1. Rainey Wilson to Pepler. Pepler in the lane. Hurley thought about it, dribbles it around. Springer cross-court pass, nearly turnover. Pepler wide open three-pointer off the back of the rim. There's Wilson for the rebound, knocked away by Urban, but into the hands of Springer. Three-pointer back iron. Van Vonderen with the rebound. Urban. Prochtrup. Back to Van Vonderen. Again, underneath, really working it hard for Reagan Krieger, and that too gives Kimberly their first lead of the evening, 12-11. Papermakers, 9:30 to go here.
Yeah, and Krieger was struggling earlier, but you're seeing all that hard work early in the game is what's leading to these points now.
Yeah, they've been really been cognizant of getting the ball in the lane to Reagan, and she's been doing a good job tonight. Wilson, wide open three-pointer, no good. Rebound brought down by the Polar Bears. Back to Wilson. She's fouled on the play. I believe that'll be called on Emily Urban. Rainey Wilson headed to the charity stripe. It's one of those where defensively, head coach, where you really want to get that rebound, Zach, and not give them another opportunity.
Oh, definitely. And that's what's very important. When you get those defensive boards, that's how you keep points off the board.
And Wilson's first free throw ties this game up at 12. Grace Rise checking in for Hortonville, 5'9" senior. Wilson 2 for 2 from the charity stripe, 13-12.
Very close game so far early in this first half, near the midway point. And this is how both teams probably thought this game would play out.
Proctor up three-pointer, no good. Wilson, strong rebound. Here come the Polar Bears. Pepler on the transition. Going to be called for the traveling, I believe. Good job by Hortonville, but Pepler just one extra step probably, and they took away an easy layup. That's what Hortonville will do, Zach. They can get out and run, and they'll run when they have to.
Yeah, we just sometimes get a little bit too excited. Add that extra step when it's not needed.
Well, Claudia Assman back into the game, coming off the bench, so good news for the Papermakers, not getting the start, but playing this game. 13-12. Springer. Back to Pepler. Again, another offensive rebound by Wilson. Her putback is no good. Number 35, Kylie Verbaco with the rebound. So some substitutes getting some key minutes here. Both coaches using their bench here in the first half. Urban on the drive. Looking back to Doulis. Doulis out to Brocktrop. And stolen by Wilson. Wilson on the transition. Wilson going to take it strong to the hole, and she's going to be shooting 2 more free throws. Kendall Brocktrop on the foul. So Wilson back at the free throw line for 2 more free throws. Renee Wilson with 9 of the 13 points. Make it 10 here in the first half. And then more substitutions coming in for both teams here in the first half. Orthopedic and Sports Institute, the Fox Valley game of the week. Doubleheader action tonight. Girls first, boys coming up next. Hortonville and Kimberly here on a chilly night, but a great night for basketball at Kimberly High School. 15-12, Polar Bears. 4-0 run after we're going to get an offensive foul, I believe, on Krieger on a moving screen. Her second.
And it's important for her now because once you get called for an illegal screen, now you know what the refs are looking for, and you have to find out what you did that drew the foul and try not to do it again.
That's a little bit of movement on the screen. Here comes Karen Pepler, guarded by Osman. Pepler on the dribble, cut off, looking for the backdoor cut, nothing there. Oh, somehow Wilson able to get it. Wilson's going to 14-footer short. As here comes Kennedy Eben. Eben doing a nice job defensively on Wilson. Forced a tough shot there by Rainey. Krieger again strong in the lane. Krieger all the way to the basket. Kisses it off the glass for Reagan Krieger. 1-point margin for Hortonville. Under the 7-minute mark. Leah Hurley had an open look. Back to Taylor Lilly. Lilly seeing her first action of the night, 5'5" junior. Here comes Lilly cut off. Back to Pepler. Pepler guarded by Osman. Long three-pointer off the back of the rim and brought down by Kennedy Eben. Nice job by Krieger to knock it to Eben. Kimberly looking for their second lead of the game if they can get a basket here. Krieger again strong to the hole, and Reagan Krieger right now really leading the way offensively for the Papermakers, and we get a steal, and we're going to get a violation. Head coach Dave Lepesto not agreeing with the call. Ayla Roche and Van Vonderen. Roche seeing her first action. Van Vonderen checking back in here at the 6:09 mark. Here comes Pepler. Kimberly with that 1-point lead. Polar Bears swinging around to Lily. Lily at the top of the key. Lily, strong move to the hole, and she forces a foul. That will be on Ava Van Vonderen. 16 fouls, so one more. Hortonville will be back at the charity stripe for the bonus. Lily's first free throw is good. We tied at 16 here in the first half. That one no good.
Outside of those two early runs, Gary, we're not really seeing big runs here. It's just been a tight defensive game.
That's been tough. Right now, I think Hortonville's got it answered. There's a near turnover, and good job by Van Vonderen, able to keep possession. And I think we got a whistle. I'm not sure what the whistle about. I believe we're going to get a Kimberly timeout. Coach Dave Lepesto talking to one of the officials. I think he's looking for a 30 as the officials. I think they will certainly give Kimberly the timeout here. Gives up an opportunity with this 30-second timeout to tell you about Van Abels of Hollandtown. Stop in at Van Abels of Hollandtown before or after the game. They're open Wednesday through Sunday. Celebrate your high school team or make the holiday special with friends and family at Van Abels. Their menu is crafted from decades-old Van Abels recipes and served every Wednesday through Sunday with room to easily serve large groups for work, family reunions, and weddings up to 500. Join Van Abels for their famous fish fry, steaks, and legendary family-style chicken. Van Abels of Hollandtown, treating your eating like family since 1848. Find out more at vanabels.com or find them on Facebook for updates. 5:34. We are tied at 16 here after the officials give the timeout to Kimberly.
And it might be a good time to take a quick timeout, get your players a little break. They went quite a while since the last timeout.
And another turnover by Hortonville's defense. Springer, top of the key, three-pointer, no good. Wilson, strong offensive rebound for Rainey Wilson. Left-handed shot, no good as she was double-teamed. Here come the Papermakers. Urban to Dulis. Dulis looking inside to Krieger. Krieger on the strong move to the hole. Another two for Reagan Krieger. And Wilson answers.
Yeah, she wanted that basket after not being able to get the putback on the previous possession.
18-18. Kimberly with possession inside again is Krieger. Out to Eben. Thought maybe travel. Krieger, wow. She is feeling it from inside and from outside. Her first three-pointer of the night. 21-18. Kimberly with the lead. And huge game for Reagan Krieger.
You can tell she was a little frustrated early on where none of the baskets were falling, but kept a cool head and being able to be in this situation.
Absolutely. And we're going to get a traveling violation on Grace Rise. Nice job by the Papermakers. That's a great point, Zach. She had a couple, Reagan Krieger had some early good looks. Didn't get him to fall, but instead of getting frustrated, stuck with it. And she's had an outstanding first half here for the Papermakers.
Like they say, it's not how you start the game, it's always how you finish. And even for the first half, you can get on a roll. Second half should be even bigger.
So the Papermakers with their biggest lead of the game at 3. And again, here's Krieger. Krieger cut off, bounce pass to. Could have a backcourt violation, and we will. Nope, they're going to call it tipped on Hortonville. The official said that was tipped, so no over and back for the Papermakers. Here goes Krieger. Krieger again, shot, and we're going to get a foul. So Reagan Krieger back at the charity stripe for 2 more free throws.
See, and that's why you always go back, because you never know if it was tipped or not, where you just assume that, hey, I'm waiting for the whistle, never heard it, continue to run this offensive possession, and now at the free throw line. You always have to be aware.
You do, and never give up on the play. And that resulted in Kimberly maintaining possession, and Krieger back at the line shooting 2. Makes the first 22-18. And second, no good. Nice rebound by Julian Martin. Here comes Maddie Springer for the Polar Bears, guarded by Van Vonderen. Still on the dribble. Looking for a little bit of help. There's another turnover thrown at the feet of Leah Hurley. Papermakers defense forcing in another turnovers. Eben all the way strong to the hole for Kennedy Eben. Strong move, and what a finish by Eben. And quickly, here come the Polar Bears, and quick transition is going to get number 14, Julian Martin, to the charity stripe. Boy, Eben there, Zach showing her athleticism with that strong move and the left-handed layup to give the Papermakers their biggest lead of the game at 6.
Yeah, we're at that point in the game now where you're seeing everything going Kimberly's way, and now it's up to the Polar Bears to make some adjustments and get the momentum back on their side. And
checking back in, Rosh for the Papermakers, along with Claudia Osman. Reagan Krieger with those 2 fouls. 2:54, and we'll see if she is. Now Martin unable to convert either charity strike throw, so we are still 24-18. Papermakers up by 6. Osman between the circles, out to Eben. Man-to-man defense for the Polar Bears. Eben on the dribble, guarded by Pepler. Eben still on dribble. Reverse. Wide open three-pointer off the rim, no good by Van Vonderen. Hortonville with the rebound. Wilson thought about the 3. Will pass it up, and Maddie Springer just didn't catch the ball. Another turnover by Hortonville. And we're going to get a 30-second timeout, I believe, by Hortonville. 2:12 here to go in the first half. Kimberly up 24-18. Gives us an opportunity, rolling over your 401k, changing jobs, or planning retirement. Matt Vandenboom and Mike Verstegen can help. They are certified financial planners serving businesses and families in the Fox Cities. Contact Vandenboom Verstegen Wealth Management today at 920-560-5600 or go online at vvwealth.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial Insurance Products, offered through LPL Financial or its affiliates. 2:12 left here in the first half. After a slow start offensively by the Papermakers, they have turned it on. They enjoy their biggest lead of the game at 6, 24-18. Eben guarded by Pepler. Claudia Osman, three-pointer is good for Osman. Nine-point lead here for the Papermakers. Pepler in the lane. Nice reverse bounce pass. No good. Springer gets her own rebound. Three-pointer off the back of the rim. Another offensive board, this time by Martin, as the Polar Bears will take it back out and reset the offense. Pepler thought about it. Cut off by Van Vonderen. Wilson in the lane. Wilson to the hole, but fouled, and she'll be back at the free throw line. Shooting 2 is Rainey Wilson, who's got 13 of the 18 points so far for the Polar Bears.
Well, we're seeing the complete opposite now. We experienced earlier in this half where everything's working now for Kimberly. Now it's just the Polar Bears struggling.
And Wilson's been perfect from the charity stripes. Callie Raining, coming in for Hortonville. Also a freshman, 5'7" freshman guard. And Wilson with her first miss of the night. Nearly with the steal. Here comes Doulis to Rosh. Rosh looking inside, nothing there to Eben. See how patient the Papermakers are with this 8-point lead. Osman, three-pointer, top of the key, off the rim, no good. Pepler with a strong rebound. Here comes Pepler and the Polar Bears. Just over a minute to go. Pepler in the lane, still with the dribble. Cut off double team by the Papermakers. And we're going to get a change of possession on the steal. Nice job by Haley Dulis, Zach, to force the turnover, but it'll stay with the Polar Bears.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. You just put your hands in there, try to find out, can you just grab the ball, not foul though, and be able to have a chance to get the jump arrow your direction.
Wilson bringing the ball out right underneath us to Pommering. Back to Pepler. Pepler gets a pick from Wilson. Pepler all the way to Strong to the basket. Runner no good. Osman with the rebound. Good look for Pepler. He's unable to convert. Dulis looking for the cutting beat Susek. Susek seeing her first action of the night. Also on freshman guard, this time for the Papermakers. Susek back to Dulis, back to Brocktrup. To Eben, 20 seconds to go. Looks like the Papermakers will play for the final shot here of the first half, up 8. Dulis in the lane. Dulis all the way to the basket. Strong to the hole for Haley Dulis. 10-point margin. Pepler, long three-pointer off the back of the rim. No good. And we played one half of basketball at the half. After a slow start, Kimberly found their rhythm. They take a 10-point lead into the half. They lead the Hortonville Polar Bears by a score of 29-19. We're going to take a little bit of break, and we'll be back, get you some halftime statistics, and get you ready for second half action. It's Kimberly 29, Hortonville 19. It's our OSI video stream game of the week here on the Score video stream.
For the second consecutive year, Orthopedic and Sports Institute of the Fox Valley has been selected as winner of the prestigious Best of the Valley Award in Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. We'd like to thank our patients and our communities of the Fox Valley for your trust and support. Your stories inspire our ongoing commitment to patient-centered care and orthopedic excellence. Experience the difference of OSI today. Call 920-560-1000 to schedule and discover why we're the best in the Valley.
The low hum of heavy equipment, the drone of power tools, the swift movement of boots on the ground as craftspeople work safely and efficiently. These are the sounds of an active construction site, the core of our business. At Myron Construction, our teammates carry out the crucial job of bringing our clients' dreams to life. They hold in their hands the tools to make something out of nothing and build structures that will stand the test of time. Together, we are building excellence.
For the second consecutive year, Orthopedic and Sports Institute of the Fox Valley has been selected as winner of the prestigious Best of the Valley Award in Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. We'd like to thank our patients and our communities of the Fox Valley for your trust and support. Your stories inspire our ongoing commitment to patient-centered care and orthopedic excellence. Experience the difference of OSI today. Call 920-560-1000 to schedule and discover why we're the best in the Valley.
A century is made up of minutes, but more importantly, of moments. Moments of hard work, dedication, challenges, and triumphs. From Myron Construction, the past 100 years were built by the steady hands of tradespeople who laid a strong foundation, and continues to thrive because of our passionate team members. As we close this significant chapter of our history, our sights are set on what we will accomplish together in the years to come, because together we'll continue building excellence.
And welcome back to Kimberly High School. We are at the half, just a couple minutes remaining before second half action. And after a slow start by the Papermakers, I believe Hortonville jumped out to a 7-0 lead. It's been all Kimberly after that. 29-19, Garibalski along with Zach Morris. And Renee Wilson, 14 points for the Papermakers, but only 19 points for Hortonville. So Kimberly doing an excellent job defensively, containing Wilson, and more importantly, not letting anybody else take over for Hortonville.
Yeah, and that's the huge point, is they're not letting the Polar Bear offense to take off. I mean, they did a great job just maintaining it. It wasn't a huge deficit, but in that stretch in the first 4 or 5 minutes where Kimberly could not make a basket, not letting this lead get out of hand, and they did a great job. And after that point, back and forth for quite a while. And this 10 points, it wasn't in a flash. It just slowly built up, and it's still a tight defensive game. Polar Bears, after a half, maybe see Hortonville come out with a little momentum, trying to get this lead down to 5. But it's up to Kimberly now that they can maintain this lead. You're going to feel pretty good the rest of the night.
Yeah, really, credit to, I thought the huge timeout by Coach Lepesto for Kimberly. As I said, Hortonville jumped out to that quick 7-0 lead. Reagan Krieger had a lot of good looks early on, couldn't get it to fall, but after her slow start, Reagan Krieger really the difference in this game so far, Zach.
Yeah, and that's why, because she was missing shots early on, but kept going with the offensive game plan, and then including her teammates, they said, hey, we're not going to not trust you anymore. We're going to keep feeding you the ball, and she paid through in multiple points, and with all of that, that's what's basically given the lead for Kimberly.
So 29-19, starting 5. Let's see looks like the starting 5 for the Papermakers. Urban, Eben, Van Vaderen, Krieger, and Doulis for Kimberly, who will have possession here to start the half. Urban on the dribble to Doulis, looking inside to Krieger. Krieger back to Van Vanderen. Van Vanderen out to Eben. Tough shot. They're going to get a foul on Rainey Wilson. I don't think she totally agreed with the call, as Kennedy Eben will be at the charity stripe shooting 2 free throws. And in and out for the first for Eben. And she misses both.
It's this side of the court where people are missing these free throws.
And Hurley comes down with the rebound, so could have made that a 12-point game, but still at 10. See how the Polar Breakers, what adjustments they make offensively, and a strong bump. And that's going to be Krieger with her 3rd foul. Not exactly what Coach Lepesto and the Papermakers wanted to see.
And for someone that plays such a huge role on this team, the decision of how long to let her play with 3 fouls.
16 points in the first half for Krieger. That's a tough jumper, and we're going to get a jump ball. It's going to stay down on that end with the Papermakers as Wilson and Krieger fought for the board. I'm sure H.C. Clothier had a few words of adjustments here, try to get the Polar Bears offense a little more productive. Only 19 points in the first half. A high-powered offense. Would credit the Papermakers defense. There's an open three-pointer for Leah Hurley. Confident-looking three for Leah. Cuts it to 7. Here comes Krieger all the way to the hole. Reagan Krieger continues her very impressive night offensively. 31-22 Makers.
And that's why multiple fouls, you have to leave her in.
No turnover. Springer did catch it. Bounce pass to Hurley. Nice pass underneath. Martin with the reverse layup, a little bit strong. Good reverse layup by Martin, just unable to convert on the reverse. Krieger left wing on the dribble, guarded by Hurley. Krieger thought about the three, going to take it all the way to the hole. A lot of contact, but Reagan Krieger fights through that. (33-22). Papermakers with the lead. Pepler inside to Martin. Had a cutting Hurley, couldn't connect. Nearly stolen, and we're going to get a foul by Emily Urban. Had a chance for the steal, but just a little bit late. Reached in. Second team foul of the half for Papermakers.
Yeah, when you try to make a steal that way, you have to be a little careful because the refs are always looking. Even if it's a little too obvious, they're going to call it.
As they swing it around. Springer inside. Going to, I believe, another jump ball. Doulis and Wilson fighting. We're actually going to get a foul. Haley Doulis called for the foul on the reach-in. Wilson bringing it in bounds, giving out instructions, going to have to get it in quickly. Nearly, that will be stolen by Urban. Urban on the breakaway, left-handed layup is good for the Papermakers. Their biggest lead of the night at 13 points, 35-22 for Kimberly.
Yeah, the second half right now is all Papermakers extending their 10-point lead now.
Good. Wilson's got Krieger's got 3 fouls, and Renee Wilson misses the jumper, and Krieger with the rebound. Here comes Van Vonderen. 3-pointer. Off the rim, no good. Krieger with the rebound. Van Vonderen strong to the hole. 2 more for the Papermakers, starting to pull away from this one, up 15, 37-22.
Yeah, now these points are coming on a little bit of a flurry now and being unable to match it for the Polar Bears.
Wilson turnaround jumper, in and out, no good. 1 and done for Hortonville. Doulis with the rebound. Danger zone right now if you're Hortonville. And we're going to get a foul on the floor. Van Vonderen took it strong to the hole. Kendall Procktrup coming in for Reagan Krieger. Krieger leaves with those 3 personal fouls. Van Vonderen bringing it in to Doulis. Doulis on the dribble. Going to get a hand check on number 14, Julian Martin. Her 3rd team. Kennedy Eben bringing it up for the Papermakers, and going to be a turnover by Doulis, unable to bring down the pass. Right now, though, Zach, every possession quite critical for Hortonville. It's down 15 and nearing the 14-minute mark.
I mean, worst case scenario is you would like to get this down to a 7-point lead with 5 minutes to go in the second half.
Wilson, three-pointer blocked. Nice defense by Dulas. Brockchup underneath. Dulas strong to the hole, and she'll be at the free throw line shooting two. Does the job defensively and then rewarded offensively with a trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, picking up these fouls now for the Polar Bears won't help it either if you keep putting the paper makers back at the free throw line.
Haley makes the first. Grace Rise checking back in for Hortonville. Julian Martin will head to the bench with 3 fouls here in the second half. Dulas, 2 free throws, gives us a 17-point margin for the Papermakers. Pepler, who's been quiet tonight with a little turnaround jumper, just can't find the basket. Prochtrup with the rebound. Pepler coming in, averaging 11 a game, so far scoreless. Dulas, strong move to the basket. Haley Dulas, 41-22. Kimberly with a biggest lead of the night here, really starting to pour it on in the second half. Wilson, 17-footer, way too strong, and one and done again for Kimberly's Papermakers defense. Really frustrating, and we're going to get an off-the-ball foul on 34. Eva Van Vonderen. Her and Wilson, unless we get it matching fouls, would have to be. Not sure. Watching Wilson and Van Vonderen, they were sort of battling coming down, and Van Vonderen hit the deck. Oh, Kimberly still at the basketball. 13 minutes and counting.
I wonder if it's because she went down on the ground, that's why they stopped play.
Near steal, and it is a steal by Wilson. Wilson in the open court. Her layup is good. First 2 points of the half for Rainey Wilson. Makes it 41-24. Papermakers. Emily Urban to Brochtrup. Brochtrup swings it around to Dulas. Dulas, long three-pointer off the front of the rim. Hurley with the rebound. Here comes Hortonville. Pepler left wing. Three-pointer off the rim, no good. Good look for Maddie Springer. We're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow will point to Kimberly. Krieger coming back in as Ava Van Vonderen will take a little break. 12-13 to go here in the second half. Kimberly 41-24. Don't forget, boys action coming up right after this. We'll take a short break and then have you back for the boys. Urban cut off. Krieger three-pointer off the rim, no good. Strong rebound by Wilson. Here comes Rainey. Rainey all the way to the basket. Little turnaround jumper, no good. Reagan Krieger for the rebound. And Osman not looking for the pass on forced turnover by Kimberly. And Coach LaPesto going to take a 30-second timeout. We'll also take a little bit of a break and let you know about Kelly Davies Homes Team. Kelly Davies Homes Team, LPT Realty, your home, where your kids start shooting hoops in the driveway and where a lifetime of memories are made. As a proud born and raised Kimberly resident, Kelly takes special pride in connecting local buyers and sellers to their future home. Give her team a call today. Start your own real estate journey. Kelly Davies is a certified Ramsey trusted agent with years of experience helping buyers, sellers, investors, and hundreds of transactions a year. Find Kelly Davies Homes Team on Facebook and at kellydavieshomes.com. Give them a call today. Kelly Davies, proud supporter of Kimberly Athletics. Hortonville with the basketball down 17, 41-24. Other than a quick start for Hortonville, it's been all paper makers since about 4 minutes into the first half. And we're going to get another turnover by Hortonville as an over and back violation. Wilson looking for some help, not able to get it as her throw goes into the backcourt for the over and back. One thing down 17, can't afford too many turnovers. Got to try to at least cut into this margin as quickly as you can. And with their three-point shooting prowess, they can do it if they start hitting some threes. But Kimberly, again, done an excellent job defensively on Wilson and on the paper Polar Bears. And we're going to get a foul out on the top.
Well,
Pepler with the foul.
And that's the thing, too, is there's plenty of time, 11 minutes. You can wipe out a lead like this. We've seen multiple teams do it. It's just making sure when your offense is clicking, you need to make sure your defense is also playing well.
Osman back to Krieger. Krieger through Urban. Urban looking for the screen from Krieger. She gets it. Urban left-handed pass back to Brochtrup and stolen by Wilson. Nice job by Wilson anticipating the passing lane. Quickly up court to Pepler. Urban there on the defense. Pepler all the way to the basket. There's her first 2 points of the night as Pepler gets 2 to make it 41-26. 15-point lead for Kimberly. Stop in Van Abels of Hollandtown before or after the game. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Celebrate your high school team or make the holiday special with friends and family at Van Abels. Their menu is crafted from decades-old Van Abels recipes and served every Wednesday through Sunday with room to easily serve large groups for work, family reunions, and weddings up to 500. Join Van Abels for their famous fish fry, steaks, and legendary family-style chicken. Van Abels of Hollandtown. Treating your eating like family since 1848. Find out more at vanabels.com or find that on Facebook for updates. Kimberly with the basketball, 10-25 and counting. Up 15, 41-26. Osman with the ball. Going to swing it back out to Brochtrup. To Reagan Krieger, guarded by Wilson. And we are going to get, I think, a moving screen. Another offensive foul. I believe on Claudia Osman, I believe, in the moving pick.
So this is how the Polar Bears can continue to build momentum. You were able to score. Now you got to stop. Another basket. Now you're starting to feel a little bit of a momentum as you're slowly cutting into a lead.
Yeah, right at the 10-minute mark. Let's see if they can, where they'll be at like 5 minutes to go. Down 15, but do have possession of the basketball. Rise to Springer. Springer three-pointer at the top of the key, off the back of the rim. Good look. Reagan Krieger there for the rebound. Springer did get a nice look. Had just a little bit strong on the three.
Yeah, and teams feel when you're down by this much, it's hard to pass up those three-point shots.
And I tell you, Kimberly does an awesome job defensively rebounding. Very few opportunities for Hortonville on the offensive boards with their Kimberly's height and just fundamentals on defense. They just do a great job boxing out, just limiting Hortonville to one shot. We've seen that all night. Inside is Van Vonderen, and Pepler going to be called for the foul. Her second, 6 team, one more. Kimberly will be at the free throw line shooting the bonus. And we're going to get that quick foul as a reach in by Wilson will send Krieger to the charity stripe for the bonus.
For the paper makers, they just need to continue to build on this lead and don't give an opportunity for the Polar Bears to make a run.
And Krieger's first free throw is good. And back-to-back free throws for Reagan, now at 21 points on the evening, the game-high score for both teams, 43-26. Springer on the dribble, guarded by Osman. Off to Hurley. Hurley in the lane. Nice little jumper by Leah Hurley. 43-28, Kimberly. And right now, the paper makers, be patient on offense. You're in the bonus. Don't force any shots. And as I say that, they're actually going to be bailed out as Van Vonderen strong to the hole. She's going to be fouled by Pepler, who will be her third. Van Vonderen back at the line shooting 2. And right now, Zach, Papermakers converting from the charity stripe.
Yeah, these are big free throws too. Just continue to build that lead and just rely on your defense the rest of the way.
Ayla Roche checking back in, and another pair of free throws made by Kimberly. 17-point margin here, 45-28. Pepler bringing it up for Hortonville. Three-pointer is going to be long, and Wilson does a nice job on the offensive board. Three-pointer blocked by Van Vonderen. Nice defense as she blocks the rise three-pointer. Osman on the dribble in the lane. Osman with the left-handed layup. Oh, no good. Krieger there for the putback. Her 23rd point of the night, 47-28. Papermakers with the lead, 7:40 to go here.
And that was an easy putback, just no one there to stop her.
And we're going to get a timeout by AC Clothier. Call that a full timeout. Gives them an opportunity to tell you about Vandenboom Verstegen Wealth Management, rolling over your 401k. Changing jobs or planning retirement, Matt Vandenboom and Mike Verstegen can help. They are certified financial planners serving businesses and families in the Fox Cities. Contact Vandenboom Verstegen Wealth Management today at 920-560-5600 or online at vvwealth.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial Insurance Products, offered through LPL Financial or its affiliates. 7:35 left in the game. All Kimberly tonight here at Kimberly High School. Gary Berleski along with Zach Morris. Thank you for joining us here on our Orthopedic and Sports Institute, the Fox Valley Video Stream Game of the Week. Hoping for a closer game, but boy, you really got to credit Kimberly, Zach, on both ends of the court. Got off to a slow start, didn't let that affect them, and they've been very, very impressive since pretty much about the 14-minute mark of the first half.
Yeah, I mean, it's been all Kimberly since that, and right now, any momentum that starts to go Hortonville's way, just nothing's clicking.
And Hortonville with the ball after the timeout. Rise with the jumper, and Krieger going to knock it. I'm going to say that it was Maddie Springer touching it last. Another good look for Hortonville, just been unable to get the shots to fall tonight. Again, Kimberly's defense has been very, very tough, so credit the Papermakers. Krieger inside, turn around, and we're going to get a traveling violation. Shuffled her feet before the shot. Here comes Rainey Wilson, only 2 points here in the second half, 16 on the game. Oh, nice pass on the back door. Rise open three-pointer, no good. Wilson there for the rebound, and she'll be back at the free throw line shooting 2. Kennedy Eben on the foul. And nice crowd tonight as it's starting to fill up. Rainey's free throw good. 17 points now on the evening for the University of Maryland recruit and one of the top high school players on the girls' rank in the state of Wisconsin. And her second, no good. Krieger there to bring down the rebound. Here comes Eben on the dribble. Back to Krieger. Krieger guarded closely by Wilson. Going to swing it across to a wide open Van Vonderen. And Van Vonderen's three-pointer.
And the Papermakers get their first 20-point lead, and now you're starting to feel that this is getting a little bit tougher now for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, Van Vonderen with a three, and Pepler's jumper no good again. One and done. Rosh with the rebound. Krieger from Van Vonderen. Krieger all the way to the hole. We're going to get a foul on Wilson as Reagan Krieger, 23 points on the night, looking for a couple more. Frustrating night here for the Polar Bears, who came in with a 2-game winning streak after losing to probably the state's best team in Pewaukee in their season opener. Urban back in. Pewaukee, not only, as I mentioned earlier, could be one of the nation's top teams. They're going to be, during the Christmas break, I saw they had to do a prestigious Christmas tournament. I think they have at least 3, maybe 4 D1 recruits for Pewaukee. Julian Martin back in the game for the Polar Bears. Down 52-29. Kennedy Eben did a nice job defensively all night on Wilson. Made those 17 points difficult. And Wilson again there had an opportunity, a little bit off balance. Duelis with the rebound. Just no second chances tonight for the Polar Bears. Krieger. Get another turnover, though. If there's one thing that maybe Coach Lepesto and Zach can talk about is quite a few turnovers tonight for the Polar Bears. For Kimberly.
I mean, that's the one thing that's not going well right now for the Papermakers, but it's also being hyped up for this game that even though you look how strong Hortonville has been over the years, they're still thinking, hey, this is a dangerous team that's made multiple state appearances.
Pepler's shot no good. Duelis gets the ball, and we're going to get another traveling violation by, I shouldn't have mentioned that, is now back-to-back trips, back-to-back turnovers for Kimberly, even though still a big lead at 52-29 for the Papermakers. Just getting it a little bit sloppy with this large margin. Wilson going to take it all the way to the basket. Her layup good, and one for Rainey Wilson. (52-39). Wilson looking for her 20th point of the game. And we're going to get a timeout. We'll keep it right here. 5:06. See how soon the coaches go to the bench to give some players an opportunity here. And as we mentioned, don't forget, coming up, we got the doubleheader tonight, girls, boys. As to our left, the Kimberly band will be in action for pregame and first half. It'll be the Kimberly and Hortonville boys basketball coming your way. Hortonville coming off an impressive road win at Appleton North, a 1-point win for Hortonville. Our first opportunity to see both boys teams. On the radio side, I know Tony and Dick had Kimberly losing to Nina last Friday night on the Score Radio. So 5:06 to go here in the game. All Kimberly with the 20-point margin. Hortonville, my bad, one more point. 52-32 is the official score. Kimberly breaking the press, no problem, and Wilson knocks that ball out of bounds. Kimberly remained possession. First time we've seen a little four-court press for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, there's no quit right now in the Polar Bears, even though under 5 minutes,
yep.
down by 20, still playing every possession like it's their last one.
Yeah, they'll go right down to the wire with this AC Clothier team. And again, another turnover forced by the Polar Bears defense. Krieger shuffles her feet after getting the pass in the lane. Julian Martin bringing it up for Hortonville, guarded by Krieger. Looking underneath. And nice little turnaround jumper for Cardin Pepler. 52-34. As you mentioned, no quit in the Polar Bears. Doulis back out to Urban. Urban inside to Van Vonderen. Van Vonderen with two more from Emily Urban. Back to a 20-point margin. Wilson back out, three-pointer good for Leah Harley. 54-37.
Now we're seeing shots that are starting to drop that just wouldn't fall earlier for the Polar Bears.
Kimberly breaks the press, and we're going to get a blocking violation on Wilson. A little bit of a late call. That's her 15th foul. AC Clothier looking for the offensive foul. Take his time. Bringing in another player for Wilson, who fouls out with unofficially 20 points on the night for her. Nearly 7 points under her average at 27 a game. 26.7 to be exact for Rainey Wilson. And Reagan Krieger at the free throw line with two more free throws. Up and good for Krieger. Got her for 26 points on the evening, game high score. And gets the friendly roll. 56-37. 27 for Reagan Krieger. Here comes Pepler. Cross-court pass, wide open three-pointer. Once again, Harley. That one just did not fall. Kimberly breaks the press. Haley Doulis nearly, and it will be turned over on the errant pass by Doulis. Again,
yeah, turnover is still becoming an issue right now for the paper makers. That's the one flaw so far.
Yeah, for sure. The one thing that Coach LePeste will certainly address in the post game, and I'm sure they'll work on when they get back to practice, is taking a little better care of the ball, even though they've got a big lead. Here's Pepler again. Nice move in the lane using the opposite hand. And again, another turnover. A little sloppy finish here for the paper makers. Pepler on the dribble. Guarded by Eben. Pepler still on the dribble. Looking for help. Harley's three-pointer up and good. Another three for Leah Hurley. 56-42. And a near steal by Maddie Springer, and Coach Lepesto's seen enough. He's going to call a timeout here with 2:30 to go. It is 56-42. Kimberly with the lead. We'll take a little bit of a timeout and be back right after this break.
For the second consecutive year, Orthopedic and Sports Institute of the Fox Valley has been selected as winner of the prestigious Best of the Valley Award in Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. We'd like to thank our patients and our communities of the Fox Valley for your trust and support. Your stories inspire our ongoing commitment to patient-centered care and orthopedic excellence. Experience the difference of OSI today. Call 920-560-1000 to schedule and discover why we're the best in the Valley.
Dusty boots from a hard day's work, a sense of progress and pride. A hard hat adorned with a collection of successful projects and dreams brought to life. These are trademarks of a construction worker, their unique signature. At Myron Construction, the men and women who build our projects from the ground up balance artistry and skill with safe, quality construction. Their legacy reaches far beyond the physical structures they build, setting the stage for our clients to do what they do best. Together, we're building excellence.
2:30 to go here in the game. Hortonville, as Zach called it earlier, no quit in the Polar Bears. They've cut this to a 14-point margin at 56-42. See how Papermakers respond. And Krieger with the quick shot and nearly brought down by Urban. But Hortonville will have the ball, down 14. Still 2:15 to go here in the game. Springer on the dribble. Back to Pepler. Pepler's little turnaround jumper is good. Carden Pepler makes it a 56-44 game. Nice job breaking the press, as it'll be Haley Doulis, 58-44. That's a good job by the Papermakers to get an easy bucket off transition and a near steal. Hurley doing a good job, though, maintaining possession. We're going to get a foul, I believe, by Van Vonderen. Maddie Springer be at the free throw line.
If the surge from the Polar Bears happened about 3 minutes ago, then you'd feel about, man, this is starting to be real close, where they're fighting their way back.
Yeah, just a little too late, but again, got to credit Hortonville. No quit. And they're making a key miss, but they get the offensive rebound. And Urban there with the steal. Costly turnover by Hortonville. See if they're going to foul and try to get Kimberly to the free throw line, or just let this one play out, down 14. Reagan Krieger stops her dribble. Back to Doulis. Doulis to Van Vonderen. Back to Urban. There, we're going to get a hand check by Pepler. So Emily Urban at the charity stripe. Should be shooting two. Papermakers in the double bonus. So don't forget, coming up, take a little bit of a short break, and then we'll be back for boys action between the same two teams, Kimberly and Hortonville. Emily with her first free throw good, 59-44. Good looking guard for Kimberly. Does everything well on both sides of the basketball. Misses the free throw there. Does a good job running the squad right now, as Bentley Trout's been out with injury. So another foul after the Makers able to get the offensive rebound. So Urban back at the charity stripe, where she just went 1 for 2. I think that's the thing with it. I noticed the second time here watching Kimberly, Zach, even with all the injuries, is everybody on this team really knows their role.
Yeah, and that's the number one thing for good, successful teams, that even if a player is missing or two, if everyone knows if they do what's expected out of them, well, you're that formula, you should win games.
And Urban 2 for 2 on her latest trip to the charity stripe, 17-point margin. We're just at the minute mark now. Nice pass, Pepler to a wide open Martin, but unable to get the ball. And here comes Doulis. Doulis all the way to the basket for 2 as they beat the press 63-44. Rice three-pointer in and out, no good for Hortonville. We'll see if AC Clothier calls it off. 24 seconds to go. Van Vonderen stops her dribble, and it is another turnover. Julian Martin with the layup. And we are going to get a late timeout by AC Clothier.
Yeah, interesting timeout.
The Kimberly student section underneath us, there's a few students didn't agree with the timeout, but hey, that's some coaches, they coach to that final 0-0-0-0 on the scoreboard, and the AC's no quit. And again, I think that's indicative of the team. They made it interesting and made Kimberly work for it here, going down to that final second.
And then teams try to work on stuff too. And that's what that timeout's for. Is hey, let's try to find out how to get a quick steal with 10 seconds to go, where you can use these moments to use in the postseason or later games in the year where you're in that situation. Tie game, 10 seconds to go.
So 10.8 seconds to go here. We'll see what the Papermakers and Hortonville's defense will do. They just let this play out, or they foul. Going to try to force another turnover. And Urban going to try to beat the press, and they will get another turnover with 0.8 seconds to go. So that will do it.
So it worked. I mean, they forced a turnover.
And that'll be your final score from Kimberly High School as the Papermakers defeat Hortonville 63-46. Reagan Krieger with 27 points. And we're going to take a little bit of a break, and when we return, we'll get you ready for boys action from Kimberly High School. We'll be back in a few minutes. You're watching the OSI Video Stream Game of the Week on the Score Video Stream.
So a reminder for all our listeners, we will be breaking off the stream, meaning you will have to refresh the YouTube page or the app, however you're using. Give us about 4 or 5 minutes, and we'll be bringing you coverage of the boys game here on the OSI Video Stream Game of the Week.